So, you want to get more girls, huh? Yeah, you saw the title. You clicked on the video. So, when was the last time you got a girl, right? Yeah, a long time ago. So, you need to improve yourself. And the very first thing you start off with is your fitness, as in bodybuilding and calisthenics. Calisthenics is not what I do, though. Personally, I go for bodybuilding. That is, like, a much better form of it. Although calisthenics is just fine. Like, there's some crazy people who have done insane things with calisthenics. So they are both good choices. So, let me tell you how to build an optimal body that will honestly look better than if you just went to the gym and went ham on everything. So, there is this mystical little thing that most of every bodybuilder ever uses, and it's called a V taper. And so, what that is, it is when your waist is smaller than your shoulders, and in between there's a little slope, more or less. And so, what you want to do in order to make this thing, which will improve your look by a significant margin, I am talking a way much better margin, is you want to train a few specific muscles just a little bit more. Like, it's still train everything else, but put just this little bit more into these few muscles, which I'm about to tell you: the abs, the lats, and the shoulders with the neck. So, what that those muscles will make that awe-inspiring V taper. And I will tell you one other little secret, which I personally strive for, yet I don't believe that the average Joe Schmo is like really exactly going to hope to, you know, achieve this, because this is one of the harder things to do. And like, I believe in you, but I don't believe most people can do this. Is when your neck, your bicep, and your calves are all the same. So let's think of like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? He had an 18-inch neck, an 18-inch bicep, and an 18-inch calf. That creates good proportions, and proportions are everything when it comes to making a good-looking body. So these proportions will make you look that just a little bit more like, I wouldn't say well balanced. I would say something more of the lines of sexy. So those are the two major tips. And another major tip I have is bulk. When you first go to the gym, do not cut. Many people will tell you to cut, and it is not the play. Even if you're fat, bulk. And then once you have a little bit of gym time under your belt, what you want to do is cut. But just think to yourself for one little second here: what is limiting my diet to where my body doesn't have much resources to go off, gonna make it to where you gain muscle? Not gonna happen. Unless you are some genetic freak or on steroids, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, stay away from that stuff. So you want to do is bulk and just go to the gym and train. Don't train like a pussy. No one should train like a pussy. Because if you train like a pussy and you're a quitter, well, you'll never get girls. Just saying. So, on to my next point here. My next point is the way you carry yourself. You need to carry yourself with confidence. Like, you need to have a straight back. You can't be slouching, looking over your phone, neck hunched forward, shoulders all crossed up. Like, that is not the way you should be carrying yourself. You need to be sitting up straight, standing up straight, shoulders back, head up, chin up. All these things will just improve the way you think about yourself, too. Like, being confident actually makes you confident. Who would have thought? So, whenever you think about this stuff, you just need to do it as much as you can. It's not exactly like you'll be able to do it 24/7, but you can try. And the more you try, the more often it will be your default stance. So, the next point I want to get onto is your social skills and how you're treated. If you get treated like a bitch, like everyone treats you as their doormat, like no one will want to date you or respect you. So you need to stand up for yourself just a little bit more often. And you need to actually go outside and talk to people and build up your social skills. And like, if you don't do this, like, this goes just beyond getting girls. Like, you should build up your social skills and not be a pussy. Because if you're a pussy, your life is just harder. So, on to my next point here is what I'm going to call your SMV. And your SMV is your sexual male value. And if you have low sexual male value, women won't want to date you. So your sexual male value is just what you bring to the table, like how good your life is. So if you have a bad life, no girl's gonna want to go into that, not unless they're damaged goods, or they're not really that like good of a woman. So you want to have an exciting life. You don't want to do stuff for the sake of her. You want to go out and try new things for the sake of yourself. Like, if you just do nothing, no woman wants to be in that sort of life. And if you go out and do stuff for the sake of yourself, you'll be a lot happier. You'll get those social skills, which I previously mentioned. You'll go out, meet more women, and don't be creepy, obviously. And, you'll increase your sexual male value. And other stuff your sexual male value will include is money and your physique, which I talked about. So it includes practically every aspect of your life. And another way to improve your life is fixing your mental self. Your mental self probably sucks because you're watching these YouTube videos all day, every day, and you're not getting any work done. May that be your job, your physique. You're just not getting work done. Okay, so the next point I want to get onto here is your masculinity. And I'm not talking like ignore women, be heartless. No. I'm just talking being a masculine man, like your great granddaddy did. But masculine in a respectful way towards women. Like, more or less be chivalrous. But, like, try to talk with a deeper voice around women. Like, do all that you can to respect women, but do all you can to attract women. And what else can I say for this? This one, I'm still personally working on it. So, you want to put in the effort, more or less. I'm just practically telling you for this one. Put in effort even when you don't want to. Okay, so for my next point, you want to be sophisticated in a little bit of way. Well, not in a little bit, actually. You could be a little bit, but the reason why we want to be sophisticated is to attract higher quality women. You don't want some whore, to put in terms. I didn't want to use that word personally, but just to put in terms. You want a nice woman who will make you breakfast and just love the fuck out of you. You want a really nice woman. And to be more sophisticated, like, show her more you're more sophisticated. Like, read books. Like, actually read books. Don't look at a book and say you're reading. Actually read books that will improve yourself, like The Way of the Superior Man and The Millionaire Fastlane, just to name a few. And take her on more sophisticated activities, like a fancier dinner, like something you can afford, though. Like, show her that you can afford nicer things, but don't skimp. No woman likes a frugal man. A frugal man is repulsing. Absolutely disgusting, icky, gross, to say the least. A frugal man is just as bad as a man who hasn't showered in a month to women. Because it practically unticks every other box I just told you. So you should not be frugal. And try not to settle for a woman. That doesn't mean don't love her, however. You should love her as if you're going to stay, but you should also love her as if you could go at any moment if she makes a bad decision. So, you also don't want to settle for a bad woman. Don't settle for a woman you met at some drugged up party. Like, that is a bad choice. You want to also have a woman who is sophisticated too and is also trying to improve themselves. That is what you should be aiming for. However, at this moment, they won't. They will not more or less think of you as a partner. Because for all these tips I'm mentioning, it won't happen right away. Like, that is a pipe dream in your imagination. You have to put in the effort and wait for maybe a year, 2 years. But you're like, oh, that's so much work. That is so much work. Yeah, well, the man who puts in the work gets a reward. So think about it that way. Because, sure, you might get that one girl who gets slightly interested in you, and, you decide to date her. But she isn't worth it. And the current stage you're in, she probably is not worth it. She is probably not too good for you. Also, Like, let's say you actually get the woman in a few years. Take this part that I'm about to say really to heart. Really think about this, what I'm about to say. The woman who you get will, honest to God, make you complacent. And once you get complacent, you will lose all the things that make her respect you. So, that physique you've been working on for years, it might be gone if you don't keep yourself in check. So, you need to not get complacent once you found this woman. Once you found this woman, you have got to cherish her and do all these other things, but never complacent. I am really trying to tell you, never be complacent. That has happened to me once, and I've regretted it ever since. I stunted my growth by at least a year. And I am mad about it, to say the least. But yeah, I should start wrapping this up. On to my very last point, which I basically already said, dedication. I might as well go further into detail about this. Dedication. What I truly mean about dedication isn't going to the gym once a week. It's more like going to the gym 4 times a week. And you truly can, unless it is like miles away and you have to walk. And even then, you still more or less kind of can. But there should be a tree, and you can do push ups, and you can do all this stuff. You can always improve yourself. There's always room for improvement that you should be taking more or less all of the time. I don't care if you're sad. Think of Andrew Tate, right? You think he wakes up and goes, "Oh, I'm sad. I guess I won't be on my grind today. I guess I can mope around and eat ice cream and cry about my day because it was really hard." No. He goes to work. He works his ass off, probably, every day. Even if he's depressed. Because the time will go by. Many people have taught me the time will go by. And it goes by fast when you aren't paying attention. You will get swept off your legs and get stomped on if you do not pay attention and you don't work. You need to work for what you get. And you need to appreciate it and never let it go. So yeah, guys, that was some tips about getting girls. Oh yeah, woo. Glad you made it to the end of the video.